Hello guys, this is Gingineer. Welcome back sa ating YouTube channel. And ngayon magsasagot na naman tayo ng problems under ratio and proportion. So maraming nagre-request nito guys, kaya makinig kayong mabuti kasi tuturo ko sa inyo yung mga shortcuts and techniques para ma-solve yung mga ganitong klaseng question. Okay? So for question number 1, the ratio of boys to girls in a class is 5:7. If there are 28 girls, how many boys are there? Okay, so isulat lang natin guys yung given ratio. 5:7 and sinabi dito na yung 5:7 ay boys to girls. Ayan. So ibig sabihin guys, itong 5 yan yung ratio ni boys and itong 7 naman yan yung ratio ni girls. Ngayon, para ma-solve natin to, kailangan natin siyang gawing fraction. Okay? So tandaan nyo na kapag ratio, pwedeng i-convert sa fraction. So, 5:7, pwedeng gawing 5/7. And yung boys is to girls, pwedeng gawing boys over girls. Ayan. And then, equate natin yan. Okay? So, dito sabi niya, if there are 28 girls, kung mapapansin nyo, naka-equate na sila, di ba? Pero given pa yung value ni girls. So, itong girls dito, pwede natin siyang palitan. Gawin natin siyang 28. And itong boys naman, since siya yung hinahanap, pwede rin natin siyang palitan ng isang variable na lang. Or let's say, variable x na lang siya. Okay? So, isolve natin guys yung value ni x or kung ilan yung boys dito sa ratio natin. So, may dalawang paraan guys para ma-solve ito, no? So, pwedeng cross-multiply, pwede rin naman yung paikot method. Okay, so isa-isay natin ha. Unahin natin si cross-multiply. So, 7 times x, that is 7x. 5 times 28, that is 140. Okay? And then divide na lang natin both side ng 7 para makancel si 7, x na lang yung matitira. So 140 divided by 7 guys, that is 20. Yan yung bilang ng boys. So letter C. Okay? So may isang paraan pa, no, yung tinatawag kong paikot method. So 5/7 is equal to x over 28, di ba? So pwede lang ito guys, no? So ito, i-divide mo dito. 28 divided by 7 and then yung makuha mong sagot, i-multiply mo naman dito. 'Di ba? Yung parang umiikot lang siya. So 28 divided by 7, that is 4. 4 times 5, that is equal to 20. So same lang naman sila guys. So bahala na lang kayo kung anong gusto nyong solution. Okay? Question number 2. If 8 notebooks cost 240 pesos, how much will 15 notebooks cost? Okay, so sa proportion guys, may dalawang klase ng proportion. Yung direct proportion, kapag tumataas sila pareho. So, next naman yung isang klase ng proportion ay yung inverse proportion. Kapag tumataas yung isa, bumababa naman yung isa. Okay? Ayan. So, inverse proportion and direct proportion. Ngayon, identify natin itong tanong kung direct ba or inverse proportion. So, pag sinabing proportion, guys, syempre, equate lang din natin siya. Okay? So, if 8 notebooks, ang cost daw niya ay 240 pesos. Ilan naman daw kapag 15 notebooks na? Ayan. Obviously, guys, kapag mas marami kang biniling notebook, mas mahal na yung babayaran mo, di ba? So, kung mas madaming notebook, mas mataas na yung babayaran mo. So, ibig sabihin lang nito guys ay direct proportion. So, pag direct proportion, pagtatapatin mo lang sila. Okay? So, gawan natin guys ng equation. So, sa left side natin in terms of notebooks, so 8/15. Equate lang natin. Sa right side naman yung presyo niya. So, since magkatapat lang dapat, kasi nga direct proportion, yung katapat ni 8 dapat 240 pesos. So, 240 sa taas, katapat niya si 8. Over yung unknown natin or yung hinahanap natin kapag 15 notebooks naman. Okay? So, meron na tayong equation. So, still guys, dalawa yung paraan para ma-solve ito. Pwede yung paikot method or yung cross-multiply. Pero para sa akin kasi, kapag malalaking number, mas madali yung paikot method. Okay? Okay, so ganito yun, no? So 240 divided by 8, that is equal to 30, di ba? And then yung 30, i-multiply mo dito, 30 times 15. Ayan, so ilan yan guys? That is equal to 450 pesos. Ayan. So yan guys yung ating sagot. Letter B. Next, a recipe requires flour and sugar in the ratio of 4:3. If 24 cups of flour are used, how many cups of sugar are needed? Okay, so parang yung question number 1 lang to. 4:3 and then flour is to sugar. So gawin lang natin guys na fraction. So 4/3 is equal to flour over sugar. And given kasi guys yung value ni flour. So itong flour palitan natin ng 24. Ayan. So ang hahanapin natin guys kung ilan yung value ni S or ni sugar. Okay? Ayan. So still gawin pa rin natin yung method natin. 24 divided by 4, that is equal to 6. And then yung 6, i-multiply natin sa 3. 6 times 3, that is equal to 18. So yan na guys yung value ni sugar. Okay? So S is equal to 18. So letter B. Next, the ratio of red marbles to blue marbles is 2:5. Red is to blue, di ba? Red is to blue. Okay. There are 42 marbles in all. How many are red? Ayan. So, ibahin naman natin guys yung ating atake ngayon, no? So, kanina 'di ba ine-equate natin. Ngayon, ang gagawin natin kapag given yung total sum nila, ang gagawin natin, i-divide natin 'yan sa total sum naman nung ratio natin. So, basically, i-add lang natin 'to. 2:5 kapag pinag-plus natin 'yan, 2 plus 5, that is equal to 7. And ito guys, yung ipapan-divide natin dito sa sum nila. So, 45 divided by 7, that is equal to 'yan. Ayan. So, wait lang guys ha. Hindi pala 45, 42 pala. Kaya pala mali. Ayan. So, that is equal to 6. Okay? And itong 6 natin guys, yan yung ating multiplier. Okay? So, at ratio 1, ang value niyan ay 6. Yan yung multiplier natin. Ngayon, hahanapin natin yung kung ilan yung red. So, andito yung ratio ni red. Ano ba yung ratio ni red dyan? Ito siya, di ba? Yung ratio ni red ay 2. Ngayon, itong 2 guys, i-multiply lang natin dito sa multiplier natin na 6. Okay? So, 2 times 6, makukuha na natin kagad yung sagot. Okay? So, basically, yung total sum, dinivide lang natin sa sum ng ratio, which is 7. Ang nakuha natin yung 6. Yun yung multiplier natin na kapag ang ratio ay 1, 6 ang value. Since 2 naman yung ratio natin, so i-multiply lang natin itong 6 ng 2. Kaya nakuha natin yung 12. Alright? Next, if 18 pencils cost 126 pesos, how much will 25 pencils cost? So, direct proportion siya. Kasi habang dumadami yung bilang ng pencil, syempre, mas nagmamahal din. Okay? So, direct proportion. So, equate lang natin, guys. So, sa left side, yung bilang ng pencils natin, so 18. Tapos yung isa, 25. So, 18 over 25, equate lang natin. Since direct proportion, ang katapat ni 18 ay 126. So, 126 and yung unknown naman, sabihin na lang natin siyang variable x. Okay? So, tapat-tapat lang sila. Ilan naman daw kapag 25 na yung pencils na binili mo? Ayan. So, ang method natin, syempre, sige, try naman natin guys yung cross multiply. Kasi paikot-ikot na tayo kanina eh. Ayan. So, cross multiply naman yung method natin ngayon. So, 18 times x, that is 18x. 126 times 25. Ito kasi yung problema guys kapag yung cross multiply. Kapag malalaking number, medyo mahirap siyang isolve. $13, 6. Okay. So, 0, 5, 1. Yan. So, 3, 150. Ito yung sinasabi ko, guys. So, i-divide lang natin to both side ng 18. Maka-cancel si 18, x na lang yung matitira. So, 3,150 divided by 18. Okay. So, 31 divided by 18, that is 1. 1 times 18 is 18. Pag pinag-minus natin yan, that is 13. Bring down 5. 135 divided by 18. So, ilan yan? Okay, so try tayo guys ng mga numbers ha. So, try natin si 7. 7 times 8, 56. Carry 5. 7 times 1 plus 5, that is 12. Okay, and then minus natin to. 135 minus 126, that is 9. Yan, then bring down 0. And then 5. 5 times 18 ay 90. Ayan. Okay, so answer natin guys ay 175 pesos. So letter C. Okay? Question number 6. If 12 workers can finish a job in 15 days, how many days will it take 20 workers to finish the same job? So gawan lang natin guys ng equation ulit. So 12 workers daw, natatapos sila within 15 days. So, ilang days naman guys kapag 20 workers na yung nagtrabaho? Ayan. So, syempre guys, mas maraming worker, mas konti yung araw na kakailanganin nila to finish their job, di ba? So, kapag mas madaming workers, mas mababa yung araw. So, this is an inverse proportion. Okay. So, pag sinabing inverse proportion, guys, kailangan mong mag-flip ng isang fraction sa sa equation mo. Okay? Tulad dito, gawan natin, guys, ng equation to. So, yung left side equation natin, gawin nating fraction yung mga workers natin, 12 over 20. Equate natin sa, imbis na katapat ni 15 itong si 12, mababaliktad na since inverse proportion nga. So, babaliktarin natin si 15, nasa baba na siya ngayon. And yung unknown natin, guys, sabihin na lang natin siya si variable x, katapat na siya ni 12. Okay? So, ganito guys, gumawa ng equation kapag inverse proportion. Tandaan nyo guys, ginagamit itong inverse proportion kapag mga work problem. Para hindi kayo malito. Ayan. Ayan. So, isolve natin to guys using cross multiply. Okay? So, 20 times x, that is 20x. 15 times 12, ilan yan? 15 times 12, 180. And then divide na lang natin siya both side ng 20 para maiwan si x. So 120 divided by 20 guys, that is equal to 9. So kapag 20 workers na, 9 days na lang nila matatapos yung work nila. So letter B. Next, if 15 workers finish a project in 20 days, how many days will 25 workers need? So, same lang guys sa concept nung kanina. So, inverse proportion to. Yan. So, kapag inverse proportion, anong gagawin? I-flip natin yung isang fraction natin. So, 15 over 25, yung bilang ng mga workers natin. Sa kabila naman, i-flip natin, nasa baba na si 20. Ang katapat na ni 20 ay si 25. Okay? So, ang hinahanap natin nasa numerator. So, same lang guys sa process natin, cross multiply. 25 times x, that is 25x. 20 times 15, ilan yan? 20 times 15, 0, 120. Ayan, so 300. And then divide na lang natin both side ng 25 para x na lang yung matitira. So 300 divided by 25, that is 12. So 12 days na lang guys, di ba? Ayan. So mas maraming workers, mas konti na lang yung araw na kakailanganin nila. Okay? So letter B. So next, a car travels 180 kilometers using 15 liters of gasoline. At the same rate, how many liters are needed to travel 300 kilometers. So, di ba guys, yung 180 km, nakaka-use daw siya ng 15 liters of gasoline. So, ilan naman daw kapag 300 kilometers na yung ita-travel niya? Obviously, kapag mas malayo na yung ita-travel niya, mas madami na yung mako-consume niyang gas, di ba? So, direct proportion siya. Okay? So, pag direct proportion, kung anong katapat nila dyan, ganun din dapat sa equation natin. Okay? So, gawan lang natin to na equation. Sa left side, yung distance natin, 180 over 300. Sa right side naman, kung ilan yung na-consume nilang gasoline. So, yung 180, katapat niya si 15. So, yung unknown natin, gawin nating variable x. Sa denominator naman siya. Okay? Ayan. So, paano natin i-solve to guys? So, pwedeng cross-multiply, pwede yung paikot method. Okay? So, i-solve na lang natin siya guys using yung paikot na method, no? So, 180 divided by 15. That is equal to 12. And yung 12 guys, i-multiply natin doon sa 300. Wait lang. Hindi ata pwede ang ano dito. Okay, so hindi nga pwede. Okay, so wait lang guys. Mali to. Mali yung pagpaikot natin. So dapat dito tayo magsimula. Ayan, so ito yung nakakalito eh. 300 divided by 15 muna. So 300 divided by 15, I think hindi pa rin pwede. Kasi malaking number yung makukuha natin. Okay? So mas magandang paraan guys, cross-multiply dito. Yan. So hindi lahat kasi pwede yung paikot method. So mas maganda yung cross-multiply. So i-cross-multiply lang natin to. Kahit mahaba guys, at least tama yung magiging sagot mo. So 300 times 15. So 0,015, 300. So 4,500, di ba? 4,500 and then 180 times x, that is 180x. Ayan. And then, since may mga zeros kasi guys sa dulo, pwede rin natin siyang i-cancel para mas mabilis lang yung pagsosolve natin. Isang 0 dyan, isang 0 dyan. So, 450 is equal to 18x na lang. So, divide natin both side ng 18. So, makukuha na natin dito yung sagot. Yan. So, 450 divided by 18. So, that is 2. 2 times 18 ay 36. 45 minus 36, that is 9. And then bring down 0. 90 divided by 18, that is 5. 5 times 18 ay 90. So, 0 na to. So, final answer natin guys, that is equal to 25 liters. So, mas mahabang kilometers, 300 kilometers, mas madami yung mako-consume niyang gasoline. Okay? So, letter D. Question number 9. A car uses 9 liters of gasoline to travel 135 kilometers. How many liters are needed for 225 kilometers? So, same lang guys sa last problem natin. So, direct proportion ito. Diba? So, 9 liters over yung unknown. So, 9 over x. So, katapat ni 9 ay si 135 kilometers. So, itapat lang natin 135 over 225. And then, ang gagawin natin, i-cross multiply natin. So, 135 times x, that is 135x. 225 times 9, so ilan yon? 225 times 9. So, that is 45. 9, 18, 22. 9, 18, 20. So, 2,025. And then, divide na lang natin to both side ng 135. So, maka-cancel si 135, x na lang ang matitira. So, i-divide natin yan, guys. So, 202 divided by 135, that is 1. And then, i-minus natin to. Okay. So, that is 767. Tama? Okay, so 67, bring down 5. 675 divided by 135, I think that is 5. 5 times 5, 25. 5 times 3 times plus 2, that is 17. Carry 1. 5 times 1 plus 1, that is 6. So, pag pinag-minus natin, 0 na. Okay, so yan yung sagot, 15. So final answer natin guys ay 15. Yan, so medyo naglalag na yung ating panulat. So letter B. Question number 10. A sum of money is divided among 3 people in the ratio of 2:3:5. If the total amount is 6,000 pesos, how much does the second person receive? So tandaan natin to guys, itong una, itong 2, ratio yan ng first person. Itong 3 naman, yan yung ratio ni second person. And itong 5, yan yung ratio ng third person. So ang gagawin lang natin, itong 6,000, i-divide natin sa sum ng total ratio nila. Okay? Or yung total sum nila. So 2 plus 3 plus 5, that is equal to 10. And then yung makuha natin dyan guys, so i-divide lang natin, 6,000 divided by 10, so tanggalin mo lang naman yung isang 0, di ba? So that is equal to 600. Itong 600, yan yung multiplier natin. Since ang hinahanap is yung kay second person, ito yung ratio niya. So basically, itong 600 na nakuha natin dito, i-multiply lang natin dito sa 3 na ratio ni second person. So 3 times 600, that is equal to 1,800 pesos. So letter C. Ayun, so natapos na natin guys yung ating 10 item question and the ratio and proportion. So sana marami kayo natutunan, mga technique and mga shortcuts sa pagsosolve ng mga ganitong klaseng tanong. So kung gusto nyo pa guys ng ganitong klaseng content, mag-subscribe kayo and follow nyo ako sa page ko. So yun lang guys, salamat sa panonood. Bye-bye.